So I'm grappling my way down this mountain and this loud alarm just starts going off. So I have no idea what's going on in the city, but that alarm does sound loud. I'm just assuming y'all are gonna be able to hear it. But we about to find out. I'm hoping it's just a testing of your emergency broadcasting system, but I mean, if it's still going when I get down there and people are running around, we surely gonna figure out what things, you know, contingency plans, that's all I'll say, contingency plans. May not have it all figured out, but I understand how to look at some of these people and figure out that they ain't running, I ain't running. Like at the end of the day, noisemakers are noisemakers. You know, and I say that to say that as we fill our life with noisemakers, it's important that we understand that people are our number one survival commodity. You know, doesn't matter where you're at, what country. At the end of the day, people are going to let you know what is going on, you know? I know everybody, you know, has been asking me about this no phones by 2020. You know, and as I engage with people, I've been telling them, like, I've already cut the SIM card. Like, I'm Wi-Fi only basically as of this point. And when I get back to the US, you know, I'm debating, you know, taking on one of my monthly providers as I do my road trip across the US, just because I know it'll be nice and easy from a navigational perspective to just have that phone for a quick minute. But it's like, I'm 7,000 miles away from home, people, and I have no phone. Like, honestly, there's this loud alarm going on, and I, you know, to be honest, I'm not scared, because I just actually encountered some really, really cool people. And this lady, you know, although we had a language barrier, you know, she was all in my hair, and how did you do it? You know, of course, I explained to her how it was done. You know, at the end of the day, language is a lot more than just speaking and loud noises. It's communication. You know, and like I said, the monkeys will teach you a lot about communication because the way they communicate is very simple. And every time I engage with them, I learn a whole bunch. But I'm off on a tangent. To close out my point, that I was saying, again, noise boxes. As you hear, the alarm is gone. And I'm hoping y'all heard that alarm because, like, honestly, it's loud. Like, I'm up in the mountain and I hear it. So it's just like, again, this was my little entry path. So personally, I know exactly where I'm at and where I'm going. No GPS needed, you know. And that's another reason why I'm doing World Tour 2017, because, you know, I've detached myself at this point from people, places, and things. You know, I will say I've definitely got quite a few people that I absolutely love and adore. But at the end of the day, like, I don't need to be in your face every day to let you know I love you. But going back to my point, because I keep jumping off tangent, like, honestly, that alarm disoriented me a little bit. But getting back to my point, as I've mentioned, you know, detachment from people, places, and things is, for me, not just a hashtag that I'm just going to throw out there every so often, although that's probably one of the things I'll do just so I can track it myself. You know, as I'm putting it on my page, you know, I may want to just look at, like, oh, when did I talk about this, you know, over the years? Beautiful butterfly, by the way. You know, I may just want to take that quick second to realize my progress, you know, because honestly, like, I, you know, have really gotten to the point where, you know, I wouldn't say we're crippled as people by phones, but at the same time, I would say we really are, because, like, a lot of misinformation is out there, and it's getting worse. Like, honestly, going the last month, you know, when I was in Hong Kong with no news, and then even beyond that with really no news, and then kind of turning on, you know, my world news today, because, you know, I'm kind of thinking, okay, hey, you know, it might be a good time to do a few more trades. So, of course, one of the things I do as an investor before I do any of my trades is I take a look at the market, you know, from a global perspective. So when I say the market, I'm not just talking about the stock market, because I don't invest in individual stocks. Like, honestly, it's just, I mean, it's an investment that, I mean, if you do it, great. Oh, back to Monkeyville, baby. I mean, if that's what you do, great. You know, I'm not gonna just completely bash it because I mean, it works for some people, but I mean, honestly, I'm just not trying to work like that. Like you know, have developed a nice little strategy, which again, book coming soon. So, of course, I'm not gonna go into a whole bunch of details because honestly, I'm doing my nature hike and I'm about to get off this phone. But like, it just had a few really cool experiences, and I'll just share them briefly with you all. Hey, mama. Like, literally, we're just walking next to each other. Like, honestly, they're people. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna say just like people because they are people. Like, personhood to me is not defined by, oh my gosh, you got your baby. Hey, girl. Our boy? No, that's a boy. You got your little brother. You the same one from earlier. You was doing a little trick for me. Honestly, I'm just gonna shut up because I was gonna give y'all a whole bunch about people, places, and things type attachments. But like, I'm about to just hang out with my little friend for a second because like, he's like literally like his mama who slapped him earlier. I'm sure this is why she slapped him because like, he's like, yeah, this is what I do with my little brother. Like, we hang upside down on little branches. Like, oh my gosh, imagine if I was doing this with Samantha or Danielle. Like, my mom would kill me. Like, of course, when we were kids, you know, we didn't have that much fun, but you know, there were fun moments growing up with my little sister and brother, or two sisters, and actually many brothers, because as some of y'all know, I did experience the foster care system. So I had a very extended family, but not only that 1 year of foster care, I like literally spent all my life with distant relatives, you know, thanks to, you know, my parents' different adventures in life, you know. And I think a lot of us would say, oh, you know, there were issues, you know, it was an unstable familyhood, but it's like, realistically, I learned how to survive as a person because of my experiences. So I'm not gonna bash my parents, although sometimes I get angry with some of the things they try to suggest, you know, even in my adult life, to the point where I'm like, you know what, how are you gonna tell me how to live my life at 28 when, baby, what were you doing at 28 and 38 and 48? Like, I'm not gonna bash, because I mean, as of now, I've reconciled relationships, and I'm detached, you know, from people, places, and things in both the positive and the negative. You know, I think, you know, and I say that like because it's oh wow, there's a little shrine, hidden treasures. So this is the other side of the Monkey Mountain. But again, I'm detached from people, places, and things in the sense that, like, I understand that from a positive or negative perspective, like, it's just dangerous to have those emotional attachments. You know, and maybe I'm just, you know, speaking for myself. I mean, well, I shouldn't say maybe I'm speaking for myself, but of course I'm speaking for myself at this point, because that's the only person I can speak for, because I am. You know, it's not, oh, well, she did and he did. It's like, at the end of the day, I'm in this country, you know, touring the world, and I'll be in a country near you, believe it or not. You know, I may hopefully be in your country. You know, of course, if you're North American, I'll be visiting you guys. But believe it or not, like, I'm literally not going to be in North America for a very long time. Like, my North American journey, you know, is gonna potentially include some more Canada, which again will also be for a very short period of time. But realistically, like, considering where the world is right now, at least I believe there is, you know, a desperate need for people that understand sovereignty to the perspective I understand it at, down in South America. If, you know, I'm going to be on the American continent, which, you know, again, I've kind of resolved myself to say, you know, I'm finishing the year with my best friend from college, Eddie Connerly, in Africa. You know, and from my journeys, you know, I will tell the world that, like, Africa as a people, just continues to take care of itself. And when I say itself, I mean me, because, you know, I am not just Africa. I'm not just Europe. I am not just Latin or all the different races that make me who I am. Like, I am, you know, period. I am. Like, whatever you want to title me as or label me as. Like, here in Asia, a lot of people, like, are you part Asian? And I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely part Asian. Like, I'm not an idiot in that I think that any race is divided from another. Now, genealogically speaking, I do have Asian roots. So, I know sometimes when I tell people I'm Asian, oh no, you're not part Chinese, because there's definitely a understanding of the ethnic differences. And it's not from like a racist and a negative perspective. It's just, no, you're not Chinese. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's just, you're a different race than we are. But at the end of the day, like, I have to kind of explain to some people, like, no, I'm truly 100% of every race that I am a part of. Animal shelter or prison, depending on how you look at it. Honestly, I would say, it's a shelter, because these are domesticated animals versus our buddies over here who are literally like just hanging out. Now, they've got leashes, so it's been unique to see leashed and unleashed animals. Of course, in the US, you see somebody with a leash and you're like, oh wow, that person's got an owner. But it's like, realistically, when I understand personhood to the level I understand it at, I kind of look at some of the things we adopt and I'm just like, I am so glad that I'm detached from some of these systems. I mean, that's all I'll really say, because, I don't want to be negative about certain situations, but like, I'm just glad I've been able to detach from certain systems that, are oppressing different beings on this planet. When I say oppressing, I don't mean making their lives horrible. I just mean like the literal definition of oppress, or to hold captive. Yeah, I've said enough. Blah, blah. Bye.